Hey everyone, Brandon Quinn here, thanks for joining. In today's video, we're going to play through the Hexakai Daily Puzzle from December 23rd, which is going to be on a board of size 11 rated at easy difficulty. So I'm just going to zoom out, give you a sense of what this one looks like. It's using a special generator pattern that fills in the top of the board. So everything here except for that top cell and then this bottom portion here is already filled in. So we shouldn't have too much trouble filling this in. And it'll be a good puzzle for those of you who are new to Hexakai. And if you are new, Hexakai is essentially a Sudoku-inspired game of hexagons. The board is comprised of hexagons arranged in a diamond-like pattern. And similar to Sudoku, all of the rows have to have unique values. The center row has to have every value exactly once. But unlike Sudoku, there's two diagonal directions instead of just one column direction. And here, both diagonal directions have to have every value exactly once, nothing repeated. If you want to read more on the rules of Hexakai, or you want to read on the strategies, I have both links in the description below. And if you want to give this puzzle a shot for yourself first, I have a link to that as well. Or you can go to hexakai.com or get the Android or iOS app, navigate up to Daily here, and play today's puzzle from there. So with that, let's get started. I'm going to zoom in a little bit just to see if there's any low-hanging fruit here. There's a few things, but I think I'll start from the top. This lone cell in a sea of filled-in cells. So, if you are new to Hexakai, one of the easiest ways to get started is to find a diagonal, or if you want to go by row, the center row only, it works for that as well. But generally, find a diagonal that has one cell missing, and then just figure out what's missing by checking it against the rest of that diagonal. So, in this case, we could do either this diagonal here, or this one here. It has that same cell at the top in common, and we'll just see what's missing. So here we have a 647215380A. I believe 9 is missing. So I'll fill in 9. And I'll just confirm. Yep, that's a 9. So you may have noticed the A here. This is a board of size 11, not of the typical size 10. So we have to have an A just as the additional element. And for larger boards, it goes into the subsequent letters A, B, C, and then up to size 16, D, E, F even. So we have to deal here with 0 through 9 and then A. So now that we've done that, let's scroll down. We can probably just keep applying this approach over and over again, at least for most of the diagonals. For example, here, I can probably zoom in one more time. Here, there's only one thing missing in this diagonal, so we can just figure out what's missing and put it in straight away. So we have 532164789A. This one's missing a 0. So let's fill that in. So this next diagonal here only has 2. We can take the same basic approach, but since there's 2 missing instead of just 1, we have to look at the intersecting diagonals a little bit to see what values you can place in. So first we have 059A13264, 7 and 8, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yep, 7 and 8. So here we can see a 7 already, so we can just assign an 8. And then now there's only one remaining, which we know is the 7, so we can just put that in. Next, we'll do the same thing on this diagonal, only 2 missing. Let's see what we have. 875946110A. 3 and... Is it 3 and 4? Let me just make sure of that. No, it's actually 2 and 3. Yeah, 2 and 3. So, similar to before, we have a 3 there, making this one a 2. Making this one a 3. Now I'll switch sides, go to this diagonal, which only has 1 missing. We have 691278330A5. I believe it's a 4 that's missing. Yep, 4. Let's go ahead and mark that in. Now we have 2 missing. 206895143. This one's missing an A and a 7. Yeah, 7 and A. So this time there's a 7 here, so we make this one an A. And now we make this one a 7. I'll proceed with the next diagonal here, which has 3 missing instead of just 2, but we can still take the same approach as if it were 2. We have A4910378. I believe it's 2, 5, and 6. Let's verify. Yep, 2, 5, 6. Here we have a 2 and a 6, so this becomes a 5. Leaving a 2 and 6, there's a 6 here, so that becomes a 2. So that becomes a 6. Now let's go in the other direction. We can take advantage of the 5 we just put in there and do this diagonal, which now only has 2 missing. So let's see what we have. 3876A0925. Is it 1 and 4? I believe it is. Yep, 1 and 4. So here we have, what do we have? We can't roll anything out here, but then coming here, there is a 4, so this has to be a 1. So then this becomes a 4. And it doesn't matter which direction we approach this next one, so I'll just approach it from this way. We have 4, 2, 8, 8, 3, 7, 5, 6, 0, 1 and 9. Yep, 1 and 9. There's a 1 up here, making this one a 9, making this one a 1. And lastly, we could do these diagonal by diagonal. It would be easier in the sense that each one of those only has 1 missing, but this way should be fine. We can do the other direction, which has 2 missing, but we can just knock the whole thing out in one go. So let's see what we have. 1, 3, 7, 0, 6, 2, 4, 8A. I believe it's 5 and 9 are missing. Yes, 5 and 9. So there's a 9 there, making this one a 5, making this one a 9. Now let me zoom out, make sure we're not missing anything. Looks good, so I'm going to submit and see if we got the right answer. Nice, there we have it. So that was a fun little playthrough. Took about 10 minutes, probably less. I had the board up a little bit before I started the video. So that was an interesting little puzzle. That's the first time I played that type of puzzle generator where it's top heavy with just the bottom clusters. That's the first time I've done it on an easy puzzle, so I was curious how that experience would go. And it went very smooth. That would be a fine introduction to the game if we presented it to somebody as such. And if you're new to the game, then I'd recommend reading over the rules of the game linked in the description below, and check out some of the daily puzzles. Some of them can be definitely very difficult, but there's a good mix of easy and medium mode puzzles, including the daily puzzle mix, so you can check those out, or you can just go to the play tab here, hit new game, select 5, 7, 8, 9, easy mode, probably just standard there, and then just play through some of the puzzles that are generated here. Typically, when you first download the Android or iOS app, it starts you at 7 on easy, but there's plenty of other options for you to explore as well. So with that, I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe so I can stay up to date on more Hexakai videos, as well as some of the other videos I do on my channel, such as Logic Puzzle, the occasional chess video. And be sure to get the Android or iOS app if you haven't. Oh, and if you do have any questions about this playthrough or Hexakai in general, please feel free to leave a comment below and I'll be happy to take a look. For now, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.